What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Green Day's album, Father of All. So this is a full album review. I'm going to jump right into it. A couple things I want to start off this review for, because I think it's going to get maybe a little heated. I may go on a rant at some point. I do want to just specify and clarify, I'm a massive, massive Green Day fan, okay? I don't want you to think that I'm just somebody who doesn't like Green Day coming off the bat. I love Green Day. They've been one of my favorite, if not my favorite band of all time. They got me pretty much into music, into playing the guitar, which I started playing like 13 years ago. I love them, okay? And let's go into this album. I don't like it whatsoever. This album has so many things wrong with it. And I've been saying it really since we got the very first song, Father of All. This album is all over the place. I guess I should maybe start out with this. So if you're still here after that beginning statement, thank you. I know what they're trying to do with this album. I understand it. It's kind of like this punk rock, like let's just play really excited and let's just have a lot of fun and let's make some nice, like, catchy, really, really quick songs. And again, like, let's just experiment a little bit. I get it. I get that this was more or less them just having fun. At the same time, you have to put a product out there, okay? I get it. It's like the world of streaming and all that stuff, but like money is still spent on this. The amount of times that this thing gets played influences radio, influences, again, how much money they make in general. I don't care if they were trying to stick it to the record label. I don't care about any of that stuff. What I care about is that if I'm listening to a Green Day album, I expect like a certain quality. And does this album not have it all the way through? No. I think this album has a couple good songs. I want to give, in a couple minutes here, I want to give like an overview, and I want to go in and give a very brief like synopsis of each song. I want to do that very, very quickly. It's short. It's 26 minutes, which in my opinion is just flat out way too short. Coming off of Revolution Radio, it was like, we don't want, I think a lot of fans probably would say, we didn't want another album that was like 10 or less songs, and we got 10 songs here. Now, again, like, none of this is new. It's just like, okay, let's just say kind of what's already out there now that the full album is out, right? Now we got the rest of the remaining songs. We got the other 7, and now we can really judge this full thing. We knew it was going to be short. Okay, I knew that going in, but like, that doesn't mean I have to be okay with it. It was way too short, and funny enough, though, some of the longer songs on this album drag, in my opinion. I think some of them are catchy. Again, we'll go into each of them. I think some of them are catchy, but some of them go on for too long. And then the songs that are under 2 minutes are just like, why? Another thing, there's so much reused content, I believe, in this album. And we're going to go over specific examples of that. So much reused content. Now, yeah, Green Day's kind of been known as the 3, 4, 5 chord band. Okay, they kind of do the same thing for, like, and that's just like, that's kind of a stereotype that they've been given. I don't necessarily believe that. This album does not in any way help their case for that, though. But they have been kind of labeled that. But even if you go off of that, you look at albums like Dookie, you look at albums like American Idiot, and they still managed to do something insanely unique, right? They can still make all the songs, Dookie, most of the songs, very, very special. And actually, they don't follow like a 3, 4 chord and like that's all they can do, right? They do so much more. This album, again, just feels like, yeah, they're having fun, but it feels like they put an inferior product out. It feels like they were just flat out lazy with their decision making. The songs that are short are insanely short. They're over in an instant, and they're not all that creative. Some of them are going to reuse content from past albums and past songs that they've done, and just overall, it's just not anything like I can see myself listening to after a couple times. You know what I mean? And leading up to this, I wanted to listen to some of my favorites, and so I've listened to American Idiot and 21st Century Breakdown over the last couple of days. Now, call me whatever you want because I love 21st Century Breakdown, but like listening to those and then listening to this, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And in my opinion, now we've gotten 4 of the last 5 major Green Day albums have been not good, I would say, right? Uno, Dos, Tres, Revolution Radio was good, and then there's this. So 4 out of 5, and Obviously, they were trying to do something with Uno, Dos, and Tre too, and there's plenty of amazing songs there. We've talked about that. If you put all of the good songs together in one album and you leave out all of the other ones, it's fantastic. It's actually really good. So it's not like they have no talent. It's not like they've forgotten what makes them special. They still have it. In fact, again, it's in some of these songs, but it's not consistent. It's just flaring up basically in a few of these songs, and it's not enough. Again, like I want it to be longer, but yet again, like when I look at some of the longer, over 3-minute songs, they're not that good. They drag on into like a repeating nature. So not even the long song. So like, do I actually want this album to be longer than it really is? No, I kind of want them to just move on to the next thing, which is something we're going to talk about over future videos. So, all right. I think that's my general overview. I'm not happy with it. You can tell probably from my voice, my attitude, I am not happy with this album. Is there something to like? Yes, there absolutely is. There definitely is. But I can't see myself listening to this past like a few days from now. Like, why would I want to listen to this over some of their other albums? Actually, most, if not all. I think I'd listen to any of Uno, Dos, and Tre over listening to this full album after. Like, I still want to listen. Maybe I'm missing something, so maybe I'll listen to it for like a week. But then after that, I really don't see why I would listen to it over a lot of the other albums Green Day's made. So let's go over some of the songs. Now, we've done full reviews on Oh Yeah, Fire, Ready, Aim, and Father of All, the actual song Father of All. So we've done full reviews on those three, and these are not going to be full reviews. These are just going to be my general impressions, and these are not, I believe, in order. Now, I Was a Teenager is actually my favorite song on this entire album. I think it actually is very, very solid. Sounds a lot like Outlaws, though, from Revolution Radio, which isn't a bad thing. I like Outlaws. I actually think Outlaws is probably top 3, top 4 song on Revolution Radio. It's got a similar vibe where things kind of build up and then it goes into a really, really nice just place in general. So it reminded me of that. However, it also sounded a bit like Dos, and you'll hear me say that quite often. I feel like a lot of these songs, and I feel like there's a reason for that. I mean, there's probably a reason why a lot of these songs remind me of the album Dos and then their side band Foxborough Hot Tubs, because it's got that more like playful, like they're just having fun. They're doing some weird experimentation that most of the time doesn't actually work. Although with Foxborough Hot Tubs, I think it did work. But you're going to hear me say that quite often. However, again, here it does, I think, play out rather well. I actually still think, even in this song, now this song, I would say right now, I'll go on record, it's my favorite song on the album. I would still say that towards the last 30, 40 seconds, it repeats too much. So even my favorite song, like, it really should be cut down by like half a minute, I think, to make it a much better overall song. But I will say it's definitely very good. Junkies on a High, here's the notes I wrote for it. Not bad, catchy, just kind of boring. Those are the 3 things I wrote about. And you could say, well, that's not a lot of information. Really, I think a lot of the songs kind of do that. To be honest with you, if I were to kind of summarize what Oh Yeah is, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's decent. It's got some cool stuff in it, right? It's got a catch to it. It's got something about it that I would want to listen to, but overall, it doesn't really have the energy. I feel like one of the main problems of this album is the songs that are like this, like Junkies on a High or Oh Yeah. They're kind of boring. They don't have a lot of like energy in them, but they're catchy enough. They have something else in it that actually makes it maybe better than the really short, fast, like faster pace songs. But if you were to combine them together, if you were to give it the energy of some of the faster pace songs, but also keep kind of what makes it unique, if you could do that with songs like this and Oh Yeah, I think they'd be much, much. So you know what I mean? I feel like Green Day separated things in this album. It's like, well, we want to play fast, we want to play energetic. Oh, but not for these couple songs. No. These ones, we're going to try to do something different. They will work, but we're going to make them really boring, like where you probably won't listen to them all that much because there's just not a lot of energy in them. And yeah, I'm not saying every song has to have energy, has to be very fast tempo. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I don't want every song to be like that. I think that'd be a terrible idea. But I think these songs specifically would kind of just increase like how good they are if they included that. That's all I'm saying. Take the Money and Crawl is the next one I want to talk about. So this is one of the under 2-minute songs. Fantastic. I do like the bends when he says crawl, when he says it like over and over again. He's also bending. It's clever. That's more like Foxborough Hot Tubs, maybe even what you would find back in like earlier Green Day. So I think that's kind of like it's just a cooler thing. But to be honest with you, there's not much there. There's not much actually in this song. It's fast paced. I mean, it's honestly, it's not like Father of All because he does the weird voice stuff with that. But it's kind of like Fire Ready Aim, I guess I would say, where again, it's just like energetic, really, really fast. And then this one just has a slightly different spin on it to make it a little bit unique. Again, it's so short. And for this, I'll say, like, it needs to be that. Like, I don't want this song to be longer. I would just prefer they would replace the song with something better. Okay, Sugar Youth is next. And now this one's very, very odd. Honestly, this is actually the one I wrote the most amount of stuff, I believe, about. And then I feel the most like I split in between because at times I actually think Sugar Youth is also like tied with I Was a Teenager. I think Sugar Youth has moments in it where it's actually really solid. Very, very, again, dose sounding. Specifically, this is where it gets into the stealing territory. This isn't exactly ripped out of it. We're actually going to get to that song next. But this song sounds a whole lot like Baby Eyes from Dose. It sounds it's got the exact same guitar pattern. He even does, even his voice matching the guitar is the exact same thing. And so, I want to give it a pass because I actually enjoy that song on Dose, and I would say it's one of the more okay songs there. But I mean, it literally sounds like it's ripped from it. I also wrote, again, this is another under 2-minute song, and for it being under 2 minutes, let me tell you something. This song goes all over the place. I don't know why, but it's trying to be so many different things. In fact, when he says "and I need a rush," it sounds like "and she's dangerous" from "She's a Rebel," and it's not that like the vocals sound the same, like the words sound so close that you can confuse them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying how he plays it. You know how he says "and she's dangerous," like how he spaces the word "dangerous" to make it fit into the actual song. He does the same thing here, and the guitar even mimics it. So it's, again, this song is trying to be Baby Eyes from Dose, and also at very, very select times, She's a Rebel from American Idiot. And again, like, it's just like one time is enough in a song. Thank you very much. We don't need two. So it's just a weird, like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to actually describe my feelings of the song because I don't hate it. I don't think it's one of the weaker songs. I think there's many more weak songs on this album than this, but it's trying to do like two different songs while also being its own. And like, yeah, it actually is okay, but it is so just over the place that like I don't actually know if I can get behind it because it's just jumping around. And it's crazy that it jumps around. Like, it's not like Jesus Suburbia where it's like 5 songs in one. It's not like that. It's one song. It's a minute and a half. And it's still literally trying to be more than one song, which is just absolutely insane to me. Okay, Stab You in the Heart. This is the big one that I have a major, major problem to. I don't care if it has a cool solo. It does. It does have a cool solo, and I've seen people say in the comments of that song. I don't care, though. This song is a blatant ripoff of F Time from Dose. Literally, the guitar is the exact same. It's just played, I would say, slightly quicker. Like if you just like doubled the speed, not even. I wouldn't even say if you doubled it. If you like set the speed to go like 25% higher than you did in that song, I think you would get the exact thing you get here. So I don't understand why they need to make a song that's under 2 minutes again for this, or I don't even know how long the song is. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's not very long at all, and it's literally, they couldn't think of anything else to do guitar-wise than, and okay, it's not the only guitar parts that are in the song, but it's actually the main thing, right? It's literally the main guitar part in the song. It's probably what you hear more than any other guitar riff in the song, and it's literally what we heard like 6 years ago on that album. I honestly cannot even, I've never experienced that before. Like, literally. And I know Green Day's kind of done that before as well, and I know I've already pointed out a few examples that they have done it, but this is literally the exact same thing as F Time. And I honestly don't even know what to say, so I'm moving on. Meet Me on the Roof is next, and I honestly don't necessarily know how to describe this song. I wrote it's catchy in a way. And I think I agree with myself there. I feel like there is a catch to it, but like it's kind of a weird catch. I also believe out of all the songs that are again over 3 minutes long, this is by a mile the one that drags on the least. It really doesn't have. I think maybe because they introduce more of like bass lines to it, where they have just more going on in between bigger setups for the song. I feel like this song overall just kind of moves at a better pace where it doesn't have any lulls to it. So I don't know if that's necessarily a compliment, saying that of all the long songs, this one drags on the least. I should say it doesn't drag on at all. Okay, so I guess you could give it that. That's not a praise for the rest of the album, but you could say that for this song. And then Graffitia was the last song on this album, the last song I want to talk about. This is solid. I mean, there's really, in this song, there's really not a lot I feel like I can say about it. I think it's it feels like a modern punk rock, like Green Day anthem-y kind of song. Like, not really a St. Jimmy and We Are the Waiting, but like kind of trying to do that. Not in a bad, I'm not saying like it's like, look, like it's trying to reach it and it just sucks. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying like if you were to imagine maybe what they would do something like that now, this is what it would sound like, because it does. I mean, it's got a little Revolution Radio, and by the way, some of these songs do have the Revolution Radio-ish sounding vocals, which is fine. Again, like I Was a Teenager, that's fine. There's nothing really wrong with this song. It doesn't necessarily jump out on me. I wouldn't necessarily say it's even like my top 1 or 2 songs on the album, but it's definitely not bad. It's got a good catchy rhythm to it. I'd say it's better than a lot of the shorter songs on the album. I don't know, there's just really not that much to talk about it, and I think that encapsulates the entire album. It's an album with promise here and there, but it doesn't put it together, not even consistently, I would say, in a single song. Even my favorite song still has moments I wish you could just trim out. So say what you want in the comments below. It's okay. I mean, you can bag on me. It's completely fine. I'm sure at the end of the day, I'm a Green Day fan, just like I assume anybody watching this is a Green Day fan. I'm a Green Day fan just like you guys. It's okay to disagree. I'm just not happy. I'm not happy with where this album went, and I just wanted to vocalize it. So we're going to have more videos. I kind of want to rank these songs, so I'm probably going to do that. I also kind of want to talk about the future of Green Day as well over the next couple days. So more Green Day videos coming to you guys over the weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed and have that bell icon rung so you see when I do Green Day content, and I will see you guys on the next video.